Hey
God, I love our
guys.
theme song, man.
Right?
Can't
Right?
help it every time. Fuck
I
yeah.
know, right? Fucking awesome. All right, guys. Welcome in to Out of Rhythm Fantasy Sports. I'm your host, Jamie, for Tuesday. And we got Mr. Eli on the other side. The
Co-host, baby.
co-host.
Co-host,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Taco Tuesday again. I think I say
I
that
had I
every
had
show. I love my
I
tacos and tequila, but no tequila tonight, Jamie. You cut me off. You're like, no drinking tonight, Paco. You're like,
Yep. Yep, that's about right. Yeah, I actually had tacos yesterday.
did you?
Actually.
What'd you put on
Yeah.
them?
Nothing. I pretty much had no, actually I had well, someone took my taco Bravo, which was kind of a but
The
yeah,
wifey
other than
steal
that,
your food?
yeah. Yeah. Um so pretty much it's one of those things it's uh god dang it. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, usually, so we can
I'm trying
focus.
to
You have a
yeah.
drink, but now it's like the computer's all acting wonky and stuff.
No, well, see what happened is I changed the time real quick and then the Facebook part like for some odd reason it's not showing up on the Facebook. So I'm like, what the hell? So it shows it's not like connected to our stream is not connected to Facebook right now. So that part was kind of messed up. So I'm like,
Is that
uh,
really, is that really a bad thing? Do we need to be on Facebook? I kind of like
Facebook.
StreamYard and our other places. I don't know about I don't think that's the worst thing in the world not being on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. There we go. Now it says we're live. So whatever. I mean, I mean, I guess our little small group on Facebook, it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. So I mean, no one really watches there anyways. I mean, everybody's kind of a homer anyways. So I mean,
Our
it is
stuff's
what
gonna
it is.
our stuff's gonna be in the vault, man. 20 years from now, people are gonna find our shit. They're gonna be like, so I don't know if these guys are onto something or they're on something.
more
Can't tell.
likely on more
Yeah,
likely
more
on
likely on
something.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but today I know most well, we're usually prepared on Tuesdays. Today, it's just we're all both of us are kind of off. We didn't really prepare too much. I mean, it's Tuesday, it's waivers and I got a lot of stuff it's kind of fall time, so I mean, there's some things I should be doing and kind of putting off and stuff I need to get done and Eli just wasn't prepared himself. So we're both kind of off here today and um, so it's pretty much waiver Tuesday.
That's
You know,
why
there's I don't know. I did watch a little bit
I
of
blame it on this
football.
bulge. I blame it on this damn bulging phone, Jamie. I blame it. Got a new battery. You and I could pop this bad boy in like when I'm up there this weekend. But yeah, this thing is This is the battle of the bulge here. This phone's. This I don't know the damn iPhone, man. But if
no,
a phone's a year and a half old, I mean, you got to expect that. I mean, it just happens. So.
yeah,
It
this
ruined
is
my. I set my alarm for a weekend or for my nap after work, and just I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I don't have anything prepped. God damn it.
so I mean,
Oh,
your phone is bulging, so the bulge is not in your pants this time. That's the
usually,
first.
yeah, usually it's there. Yeah, frequently. Damn phone.
So let's see. The weekend was actually kind of interesting, I guess. I mean, Tool's a little kind of out of it, but he came back and beat the Bills. That was a pretty good game. I predicted that the Dolphins were going to beat the Bills, and that was so at first it was actually like I thought the Bills were actually going to win this one, so I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Dolphins were. I mean, Bills took control. Yeah, Dolphins came back. Tua kind of came back down to earth, but they still. I didn't know that. I was looking at the stats. I think Tyreek and Waddle are like 1-2 in receiving yards for the year so far. That's insane. I mean that's kind of what we were expecting. I mean that's why they paid all that money for Tyreek. But it's
Yeah,
great. And the Dolphins. I mean, Dolphins got firepower. They're not great on defense, but they're situationally good. So when they need to make a
Yeah.
stop, they do. So I mean, and they've beaten two really good teams. I mean, Baltimore, I think is a playoff team, and
Yeah.
the Bills, obviously, I think the Bills are a Super Bowl favorite. One of them. So yeah, Dolphins have been very impressive. Another game that I liked was I didn't want to bring it up because I look like a homer. It's like when you bring up Dallas stuff. I mean, people are like, "Oh yeah, Tampa." No, but it was a damn good game. I mean, we came up a little bit short. We had a lot of injuries, and Mike Evans was suspended, and but I'm happy with our I mean, our defense is elite. I mean, our defense is easily top 10, if not top 5. Green Bay, they're better than I thought they'd be. Honestly, I mean, they're on offense, they're about what I expected. I mean, they don't have a lot of firepower, but
Yeah.
their defense is really good. Their running game's really good. So I mean, Green Bay, I thought I thought they'd be 7-10, honestly. But I mean,
Well,
I'll be wrong because they're gonna beat the Patriots this weekend, so they'll be 3-1. But I don't know. That was another game I noticed too. Is just like how and somebody was like, I think it was you. You were like, Brady's done, and I'm like, you might be onto something there. I think it's a lack of weapons and they don't get a lot of time with these guys anymore. With a shorter preseason. Oh yeah, you got the fantasy quarterback stats. Yeah, you don't see anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't see Tom Brady anywhere in sight. So and usually you do. So you might be onto something with him being should retire.
So,
he should retire definitely at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I mean, this is my edit from earlier this morning. I did got pretty much put up like I did this in the Discord too. I posted these in Discord. So I mean, these are actually just fantasy points from after this week. You got so pretty much it's crazy to see. You got Lamar up top. Josh Allen, Hurts after a couple of good weeks. I mean, he's up there. You got Patrick Mahomes. Tua's actually up there. You got Carson Wentz, which is actually
still on a lot
exciting.
of waivers. We'll get to waivers a little bit, Jamie. Carson Wentz is actually still out there in a lot of leagues.
You got Herbert. Joe Burrow, kind of the top 9, and you got Trevor Lawrence here at the bottom. I mean, I
called that. I said. There's 2 things. I've been wrong about a lot of shit. I've been wrong about a lot of stuff, but I was dead on with 2 things. I said there he is, number 8 right there. I said Khalil Herbert was before the season started. I was like, Khalil Herbert's the best running back in the Bears backfield. He's better than Montgomery. And I said Trevor Lawrence by the end of the year will be a Pro Bowl level quarterback. He might be a Pro Bowl level quarterback right now. I mean, he looks damn good. So does Jacksonville early.
Yeah.
Look I got the running backs up there now. My boy James Robinson. I like seeing that.
I know he's got 53 fantasy points on the season already. So I mean that's a guy from being injured to being in the top 10 for fantasy points already. I mean that's saying something. I mean from the Jaguars actually going to being a crappy shitty team to being a totally different team already. I mean that's insane. And you got Swift is actually going to be out for the next probably 3 or 4 weeks now because from what it sounds like. They're going to be back. He's going to be back after their bye. So, you got two Lions running backs in the top 10 for fantasy points already. Kyle Herbert. I'm actually surprised with that one too. I mean, after his
called it, man. He's damn. I saw it last year in those few games that he filled in, and I was like, why are they putting Montgomery back in? Because they're paying Montgomery all that money. I get it, and he's a high draft pick, but Herbert's the best. And it's surprising to see Jay Taylor, that far down. But Colts are. I don't know how the hell they beat the Chiefs, but a dead clock is right twice a day, I guess. I see Jamal Williams. He's been on my. I mean, that's probably why I'm 1-2 in our 16-man league because Jamal Williams been on my bench. With Swift out, I might have to plug him in to the flex spot. Saquon's still up there killing it. Obviously Nick Chubb. I'm surprised to see CEH up there. I'm glad to see. It's like we skipped a year. It's like they have like leap years.
Crap, right?
If you could just take away the 2021, you'd be like, James Robinson, rookie of the year. CEH, high draft pick, stud. If 2021 never happened, this is how they would look because those 2 guys were projected to be 2 of the top 5 backs in the league going forward, and they shit the bed last year and were hurt. and now they're kind of where they should be. And same thing with Saquon. Saquon, when he's healthy, is elite, the elite of the elite, if not the best running back in the league. So
Yeah, I mean, I
like
mean,
that list.
I was actually watching that game last night. So I mean, that game last night, I was like, he actually ripped off a nice one. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
damn. I mean, so it was kind of back and forth. Zeke had a couple good runs. I mean, Pollard had quite a few good runs in there, but Zeke ended up with the touchdown instead. But I'm actually kind of surprised to not see Christian McCaffrey up in here for fantasy points. For the
I'm
top
not.
10, anyways.
I'm not. He's
You know,
healthy,
it-
but
it's
he's healthy, Jay, but he ain't what he was. He's healthy, but I know he had the 100-yard game in week 2 or whatever, but he ain't what he
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Injuries
that's about right.
away.
It's so we got the top 10 fantasy wide receivers. So it's kind of surprising. Stephon Diggs and Cooper Kupp, they're up at the top. Top 2. And it's actually Waddle and Tariq in there for fantasy points too. It's kind of crazy. Christian Kirk, up in there
That's
too for the top 5 or top 6.
That's and you were a big Christian Kirk guy when he was in Arizona. I mean, you were
Yeah.
all over him, and it's great to see that Jacksonville. I mean, you pay these guys 18 million, and that's not top end receiver market, but I mean 18 million. That's a good number and he's their number one right now. But that's good to see him actually producing. I mean, giving Lawrence an actual target because Robinson's healthy behind him. He's got Christian Kirk. Marvin Jones is he is what he is at this point. He's a veteran, but I think if they got another receiver, Lawrence would be right up there with the upper. He'd be right up there with Herbert and those guys. So, he's in. Obviously, and JJ, he's been kind of disappointing the last couple weeks after that week 1 explosion. He's been disappointing.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper there, your boy from back.
I know, right?
Back in black, man. He's killing it with the Browns, and he's got a good thing going with Brissett, and
that's right.
He's got a little left in the tank, obviously. So, and young Drake London, we suspected that, man. We knew he'd be a stud, and he's already Atlanta's number 1 guy. So,
and that's gonna be the thing too, because Pitts was their only guy that they had down there. So now you got another guy up in there, and so it's London's going to take away from Pitts a little bit, but Pitts is still going to see his receptions. It might not be as often, but I mean, he should still be in the top 10 or top 15 at least for fantasy points. Through weekly, anyways. He's not going to be top 20. So I mean, he's still going to get looks no matter what. God damn, I don't have anything to drink either.
Coughing up all that bullshit. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Usually we wet our whistle with a little bit of Grandpa's cough medicine, but
yeah, I mean, I'm actually kind of, honestly, I'm kind of surprised to see Drake London in here already. Kind of as many fantasy points as he has already. But I mean that's a given too. I mean, Atlanta didn't really have anything, so I mean, it's only obvious for them to be tossing the ball to somebody else. So
I would be, and I've ripped Marcus Mariota because I don't think he's a starting level quarterback. And I'm probably right about that, but I've been hard on him. But I'd be interested to see what if Calvin Ridley hadn't pulled what he pulled last year. Like if they had Ridley and London combined with Pitts and the way Cordarrelle's been playing, the number 5 fantasy back right now. I'm interested. I mean, Atlanta's not very good on defense, but they might be putting up 30 a week. I mean, this might be
most definitely. I mean, if
better offense in the league. Like if Ridley was available enough. I don't know if he wants to come back or whatever, but I mean, they could be. They get a better quarterback. Like I know it's easier said than done, but they get a better quarterback eventually. I mean, this could be. And I like Arthur Smith. I like the coach. I think he's creative and on offense.
Yeah.
And if they get a little better on defense and get a little better quarterback play, I mean, this could be a playoff team. I mean, that's how deep the Falcons are with some of their weapons.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I was a Ridley guy, but I honestly don't think he will be coming back to the Falcons after this year. I'm sure he'll want out. So I mean, it just depends on, and that'll be next year too. So I mean, that's going to be some, speculations there on where he's going to go next year. I mean, that's what I've heard. They don't want to be with Atlanta, so I mean, it's very obvious they can get some good value out of him and get some. They could probably even get some draft. I mean, they'll probably get some draft picks out of him, for sure. But we'll do my other. Oh, I was gonna say I don't have my other one. Here's my other one. Quick. This was from this weekend. Yep. Yep. So, Mark Andrews was the top guy, so, we got Joku, who was actually pretty nice. He actually had a nice game last week. Kelsey. I'm not sure much with this Jelani Woods because I mean he was just kind of came out of nowhere because what's his what's his the other guy's name offhand? He was actually
Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah, he was actually supposed to be their number one tight end. So this guy just kind of out of nowhere, just probably some lost fantasy points that just wasn't expected,
But it might just be a white. Be curious to see what he does the next couple weeks. It might just be. I mean, people saw what happened week 1 with OJ Howard. What has he done the last 2 weeks? He hasn't done anything. I called Conklin. I said Conklin before the beginning of the year. If you go back and look, I said he I didn't think he'd be doing like this, but he was a top 20 tight end. I liked him with Minnesota. I mean, they kind of kicked him out for Irv Smith, but I mean that was a nice signing by the Jets. They haven't missed CJ Uzomah at all. So Conklin's starting to play. Will Dissly, I didn't see that, and he's had a couple decent games.
He has, and I mean he's been plagued with injuries too, and that's the downfall there. I think more than likely he's their number one guy if when healthy, but the downfall is it's just he's injury prone at the most latest, but he's been healthy now and he's kind of hit and miss a little bit, so
isn't that a bitch though? I mean, I know he was just a throw-in player for that Russ deal. I mean, Seattle really just wanted the draft picks. I mean, I don't think they cared about Drew Lock or whatever. But it's interesting to see like that. Will Dissly is already a better fantasy option than Noah Fant. Like I don't know what happened to Noah Fant, but I mean he was decent with Denver a year or two ago. But yeah, he's irrelevant now. Akins, he's kind of like we were saying with OJ Howard. It's like. It would have been one or the other, been Akins or him. And it looks like Akins had the week, so they might ping pong back and forth between who gets the points.
Swaim.
Their
tight end
getting points.
And those are things that especially in deeper leagues. I mean, these smaller leagues, you're going to be getting the guys that are most irrelevant, and then a lot of these other guys, especially in deeper leagues, you're going to be like, well, I'm not sure exactly. So I mean, it's like. You're not sure who you're going to be picking up. I mean, just like in the Cowboys game, it was I'm trying to think here. I think it was a split between both tight ends a little bit last night. But I think the other guy got more of the receptions than Ferguson.
I think Ferguson had the bigger night. If I'm correct on that, I was kind of skimming the TV a little bit. I didn't. Yeah. Sorry, Dallas, but they did win though, Jamie. And
they did win.
I saw. Speaking of Dallas, I saw in one of our 12-man, one of our leagues that we do with some of my family members. Dak is available.
What?
Yeah. Like I think it's the Nate Dogs pound or whatever. Like I saw Dak was available. I'm like, what idiot dropped Dak? I mean, you stash him, you put him on IR, you stash him away or something. I mean, he's not going to be out that long. I mean, come on now. I mean, Dak was only going to be out for 6 games at the most. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. That's another amateur, rookie mistake. You don't do that. He's too good. Good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Yep. I mean, that's about right too. It's just one of those things.
I like it. Dominant number 1 seed passing through. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah. So, Chad.
They're all layups for you, Chad.
I seen something. Are you covering like the AFL, some Canadian football league or something? I guess I didn't really understand.
Right? Yeah. the DFL, I think it's CFL.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know it's like AFL. I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't
AAF.
quite sure exactly.
Go phone up your boy Johnny Manziel. I think he's trying to get into that league.
Well, he's actually in that was it that fantasy, or was it that fan side or whatever it's called?
Yeah, where he was playing. Was he like playing against fans or something?
No, it's that fan controlled football where they control the plays and stuff like that. They put in the plays that they want to shoot. I mean, Terrell Owens was actually in that. He is actually, that's why he's been seeing Terrell Owens is.
Oh
no, I said Terrell Owens is actually playing in that league.
I believe, man. That you know what that sounds insane, but I mean that might draw some ratings. Like I don't know if that's on TV or YouTube or something. But,
I'm not sure exactly where it is, but
Manziel to TO.
I mean, Manziel does play in this.
I'm getting my popcorn ready for that, Jamie.
Yeah, most definitely. So I guess it is. We had a little fun there with a couple of my, we kind of looked into some of the after week 3
some of the
fantasy.
big performers, performers so far, some of the week 3 studs. Obviously some familiar names, some guys that are I don't think are going to stay there. That's just how we roll. That's how we roll. Out of rhythm fantasy sports, baby. We were talking about some waivers. I think that's what you were like. Hey, what do you want to talk about? Waivers. I'm like, deal. Yep. Sounds good. Easy night. Make it easy on us. Do you see anybody? Do you want to go over some of the? Probably talk waivers. Then we can maybe go over like the Yahoo Cup or DFS, maybe, just to kind of keep it players tonight. We don't really need to do it. And these guys are watching the games. They don't need if they'll watch CBS or some shit if they want a ESPN if they want a preview of Dolphins Bengals or something. We can let's do some of the more specific. Let's do some of the players from some of the different size leagues that we do. And then maybe get into crafting a DraftKings or a FanDuel or whatever these guys, line up for that.
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see what we got time for, or something like that for sure. Or we can try to get in on Friday too.
That's fine. We'll start with 10, 12 man. Who are some of the standouts you've seen in that size format league?
I was kind of looking. You got most of the in smaller 10 mans. You got Geno Smith. Zach Wilson's gonna be popping up. He sounds like I think he might be back this week. Not for sure exactly on that. Brissett is in some of those smaller leagues. Hoyer, since it sounds like Mac Jones could and might be done for the season for the ankle. So so Hoyer is going to be filling in there. So I mean, especially in smaller 2 QB leagues in in a 10-man format, Hoyer is probably going to be a guy some people try to pick up. Not
with that offense.
Yeah. Well,
Jamie, he's automatically 32 of 32 the minute he's.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Hoyer will be better than Russell Wilson. So
yeah, Russ has looked terrible. I mean, I've got my, I was eating a plate of shit, and now I've got Tupperware containers in the fridge that are full of shit, and I'm ready to dig in. So yeah, Russ and that offense has looked terrible. But
anyway. But yeah, those are some guys that I've kind of seen in smaller 10-man leagues that some people might be looking at. As far as running backs, I think Herbert. It's some of the smaller ones. I think Herbert will be somebody that people will be looking at trying to pick up.
I think he's already. Are you sure? I think he's already rostered. I think the cat's out of the bag on that. I thought people would have picked up how good Khalil Herbert is, but.
Not in a 10-man. 10-man, he's out there. I mean, he's out there in some small 10-man. He's only 50% rostered in 10-man formats. But
boy, I'm sure a 10-man league, you and I would rake up, man. We'd go. The only losses would be each other.
I mean, Samaje P. Ryan, he might be out there, but I'm not sure what his value is. We got Burkhead,
Sexy,
Reynolds.
sexy Rexy. They were talking
Yep.
about that, about how the rookie Pierce has some fumble issues, and
Yeah.
Rex didn't do anything against Chicago, but that's no
Yeah.
reason to cast him aside. I mean, if you're looking at somebody, I mean, I have him on my bench in 16 man, so Rex has had a couple decent games before this last one, so Rex
Yeah.
is worth looking into.
Um, those are
Jarek McKinnon, he's had some. I see him in some of the 12-man leagues. McKinnon's had a few. There's so many weapons with the Chiefs, and you never know who's gonna pop that week. But if
yeah.
if you had a running back injury, for example, or if you have like J.K. Dobbins, he's been unreliable, and he's only played. That first game wasn't very enticing at all. So if you've had somebody like
Yeah.
him that's been hurt and you need a running back depth on the bench, I mean, yeah, definitely Jerick McKinnon or the Hilliard kid from Tennessee from the Titans. He's looked
And
decent up until
yeah,
last.
I mean, yeah. But these are all for kind of smaller leagues, anyways. That most of these guys are going to be available. Especially like wide receivers. You got Dobbs. Jones, Richie James, Kadarius Tony, Matt Collins. I mean, I honestly, I
Mac,
mean,
Mac the
he
knife,
was.
Mac the knife,
I
return
mean,
of the Mac.
I mean, he was the big boomer, with down with the Raiders. But honestly, I don't think that will happen again. So I mean, that was kind of a 1 week ordeal, just because they had um trying to think of it. He was out for the game, and uh,
Was it Renfro?
yeah, yeah, yep. That's right, correct. So
Yeah, so
I just don't.
he was getting his targets. Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah. So in that light, I don't think this will be a repeat. So I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people out there going to be probably picking him up. So I mean, I'm sure his roster percentage right now he's only 3% rostered, but I think with this game, people are like, oh, this guy's going to be catching some balls. So I mean, I think his percentage will probably go up to, I bet you, about 10 to 15% just because of this game. But I wouldn't be picking him up. Maybe if he was in a deeper league, maybe, but still, that's gonna be kind of hit miss with a guy like him, because they're gonna have their targets. I mean, he had 11 points the week before and two the first week. So I mean, it's matchup very honestly.
If I saw somebody, I was like, how the hell is he? I saw Russell Gage in one of the leagues.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's
how is he just had he didn't have a touchdown or a bunch of yards or anything, but the guy just had 10 catches and yeah, you can say Mike Evans, Godwin, all these guys are for the Bucks are hurt, but I mean Russell Gage, I mean he's a good number 3 receiver. I
yeah.
thought the same thing with Josh Palmer. I've seen Josh Palmer in a couple different leagues where
I
he was.
actually dropped Josh Palmer in a
What was your thing?
deep league.
What's your now that you bring that up? Like, what's your thinking? Like, why is he not more rostered? I thought he'd be, especially with Keenan Allen being hurt right now. He'd be like a solid number 2 for the
Yeah.
first years for a little
I
bit.
mean, he might. I mean, he's more kind of like a number 3 guy. I mean,
He
he'll
is
get.
no, yeah,
I mean, he'll get some catches here and there, but he's not gonna. I mean, the only reason why he's getting that amount of targets is because Allen's out.
no,
I
yeah.
mean, other than that, if Allen's in, I mean, he's not gonna be. I mean, he'll have his few catches, 3 maybe for 40, or 4 for 40 or something. So I mean that's all it's gonna be. Is that maybe he'll get a touchdown in there, but I ended up dropping him, especially in my this one. I think this league's a 16 or 20 man I mean, pretty much all for one. So pretty much I added. So pretty much I can tell you right now, I dropped him for Dobbs, because Dobbs was actually available in this super deep league. So I think this is a 20-man league. Yeah, this is a 20-man league. So and Dobbs was out there. So I dropped Dobbs for Carter, because Dobbs is that
DeAndre Carter.
the guy we're talking about from
No, no, we're talking about. I think you're confusing. I think you're confusing your backup Charger receivers. No,
no
it's
no
So you drop Palmer or DeAndre Carter.
uh,
See, yep. I knew it. You
Let
got
me look.
You're all confuzzled here. Hey, moral of the story is this: Romeo Dubs,
The hell
definitely a
here.
better play, than probably both these guys. So going forward,
Oh,
I mean,
someone picked up.
oh
Dang it! Somebody picked up. I didn't know. Well, Herbert was out there. I should have picked him up. No,
you
I
did?
dropped.
Oh shit!
So I actually dropped DeAndre Carter. That's who I dropped.
That's
Yeah,
what I was. Yeah, that was. I mean, that's
yeah.
definitely a good. And I still think Dubs is going to be a better long term option than Palmer. So I wouldn't have
Oh yeah,
faulted you if you
yeah.
had done
Most
that.
definitely.
Uh,
Yeah.
Dubs is already. I mean, he's already proven that him and Lazard are Aaron Rodgers' two favorite targets right now. I know
Yeah. I mean,
Watkins is hurt, but I don't think he particularly cared for Watt. It might be a couple years before Christian Watkins or Watson is going to be
well,
a if he's going to be an effective receiver. It's not going to be this year.
I
It's going to be
think.
Dubs and Lazard for the Packers.
Well, I
So
think Watson, he'll get more involved sooner or later. I think he's still kind of trying to learn the offense, and he's still trying to get healthy too. On top of it, so the Packers' offense is always a difficult thing to kind of get tied down on, and it's a whole new learning experience for this team. So I mean, I think once Watson gets more reps under his belt, I think he'll be a better guy in the second half of the year. He'll start getting he'll turn it up in the second half, and I think that's what might happen.
yeah, it remains to be seen. That's
Yeah.
uh, tomato. Well,
Right?
okay. While we're still on receivers here, what are your thoughts on Greg Dortch? I know he's kind of maybe the bloom's
Um,
off the rose on him. I just think like you still have DeAndre Hopkins who's out.
I
AJ Green shot at this point. Rondale, we don't know when he's gonna be in the lineup and effective. Do you still roll with Dortch? Like I see Dortch available in some smaller leagues too. Like
Yep, I picked up Dortch in one of our 12-man. So I mean, for far as right now, I'll be rolling with Dortch until further notice. Until you hear something, I'd be rolling with him. So I mean, if you want him in your lineup, I would do it because he's been catching balls. He's going to help you guys, especially in PPR. I mean, he's getting targets no matter what. So I mean, this guy's he's a rookie, but later round rookie. So I mean, he's proven himself. So I mean, right now it's hard saying on Rondale Moore when he's gonna be back. Especially, I mean, that's gonna be the downfall. He's not healthy. So right now, keep Dortch in your lineups if you got him. Um, until further notice, it's until we hear something. Well, after Hopkins comes back. So other than that, keep him in your lineups.
I was gonna. So you want to jump to tight ends, or
We just kind of. I mean, I guess.
You have a tight end, but do you
Yeah.
want to jump to tight ends?
Since Sterling Shepard is done for the season, Richie James.
Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt again. He's hurt again. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
As soon as it was a non-contact injury, so
Elizabeth.
so yeah. But yes, so Sterling Shepard is done for this season. So now it's Richie. It's going to be guys with Richie James, Kadarius Toney are going to be guys that you might be looking at. Galladay, it just sounds like he is not a guy that they want on their team anymore.
Brian Dable, the head coach, doesn't like him one bit. I think I don't know if you mentioned, I was dead there for about 20 seconds. I don't know if you brought up Wayne Dale Robinson, but
yeah, he might. Right now, maybe. I mean, right now, it probably Richie James or Kadarius Toney are going to be stepping up a little bit more.
He likes James. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So those are going to be guys are going to be kind of be looking at. Gallup is out there in some leagues, especially smaller leagues. So I mean, I think he'll be available, especially not in a lot of other leagues. Well, 12 to 14 and up, he won't be there. But smaller leagues, he might be available. So I mean, it's gonna be like, who do you drop for Gallup if he does come back, especially in a smaller league if you want something like that. But high priorities would be Dobbs for one. Maybe Richie James if possible. Those are some guys that kind of pique my interest right now. Well, what about Parker though? Parker is out there too.
He, especially now that the other Mac. There's a lot of Macs here. Mac Collins,
Yeah, yeah,
Marlon
yeah,
Mack, Mac Jones, Mac and
yeah.
Cheese. No, I mentioned I don't trust. I mean, Brian Hoyer hasn't been effective. I mean, he was effective for a cup of coffee like 10 years ago in
He's
Cleveland for
mediocre.
what I mean. He's a career backup, probably a third stringer at this. I don't know why he's in there. That New England's going to get booty raped here. No sandpaper on the dick. I don't trust any. Maybe that some of the running backs because it's going to. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson or Damian Holland, or Damian Harris if he's still relevant.
I think Stevenson's actually
their
passed.
number one.
Yeah,
he's their number one back.
Traylon Burks is.
I don't know. Devontae Parker, he's on my bench in my 16 man. I mean, that's something I'm looking at too. Is trying to play. And then the week I'm trying to kind of upgrade from him or get rid of him. The guy has a decent game, so it's like, what do you do with Parker? And obviously he's not as good as his Miami days, but if he's available, and you're I'd say in a deeper league, if he's available, go snatch him up. But in a 10-man, no, you can do in a 10-man if he's available, you can do better than Devontae Parker, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, it's especially in the and that's about it for a lot of these smaller 10-mans. You got Conklin, Ingram, and Disley for tight ends too. Those are probably some of the top, some of the top guys that if you need help, they might be.
What is this? What is this? Okay, in that same 12-man, this is like the land of misfit toys here. I feel like fucking Herbie, like from the little cartoon from Reindeer or whatever. The hell is this shit? So the same 12-man that had Dak available, right? David Njoku. David Njoku is available.
In your which league are you looking at here?
Goddamn league. The same goddamn league. What is this? Will Disley? Okay, I kind of understand. He's I mean, people assume Noah Fant was going to be the number one tight end there, but I mean, Njoku, they just signed the guy to a big deal. He's going to be the Browns tight end for a while.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised he's actually available. I'm surprised he didn't get drafted.
He's just sitting there, or somebody dropped him, or what the hell happened? Dude, I don't know.
That's insane.
What is this?
But
I want to be on him like white on rice. What is this? Let me see who's on my. Yeah, let's see. I got Tanyan as my backup. I got Zach Ertz. Yes, please. Let me. I'm putting in for a Njoku right now. Claim yes. There's a live transaction going on here. You damn right. Tanyan. Yep. Yes, sir. Confirmed. You damn right. Well, sometimes when you dig a little deeper, and some of it depends how much time. Some guys are hawks about this. Some guys, just casually look. They don't have the time. I get it. But if you dig a little deeper, sometimes, man, you can find some gems. I mean, the fact that I found Dak Prescott, he's going to be a starting level guy probably week 10. You know what I mean? He's going to be one of the top 12. Easily a top 12 fantasy guy when he's healthy. So and you could have him and Njoku on for free, and then people are making stupid trades like we talked about on last week's show. Anthony.
So actually, I'm looking at this. Does your mom even play fantasy football?
I think my brother, the one that's up in Aberdeen, I think he helps her with her team.
She's 3-0 right now.
What?
Yes.
See, that's
and here's my monkey ass at 0-3.
And you do, and we see how much prep work. Well, not tonight. Tonight's a bad example. We didn't do anything. But no, we put in so much prep and homework. Watch the product. Try to do different leagues, different formats. Do DraftKings. Do other ways to like get the best available information. Look at like bigger stats like red zone target percentage. Stuff like that. She doesn't look at any of that, and she's 3-0. she's probably going to end up like 11-3 or 12-2 and in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way it works. Like that's why this is such a great. I mean, it's great. Were these people that are exposed at, and I shouldn't be talking about my mom like this, but I am. When these people are exposed is in the playoffs. When you have harder matchups, you're up against like sharks. Like these guys are sharks. You make it to the playoffs, and now we're out for blood. Now it's a whole different level. So a lot of the times you'll get like your wife or girlfriend that can have an 11-3 run. I've seen it. My significant other back in the day, before I was a lonely bum that I am now, I helped her all the way. It's a dominant season, but ended up in third place. Ended up in the semifinals because just the team, she got exposed in the playoffs to better competition, especially when they were going for money. I think they were going for like $500. So I mean, it's just a different level of competition. But she doesn't know what the hell's going on. So no, come on now. I know she's a Detroit Lions fan, so maybe she knows. I don't know. Maybe she knows about Damian. Maybe she knows something about Damian Williams or I'm sorry, Jamal Williams. There's too many damn Williams. Jamal Williams or maybe she knows something about Josh Reynolds. I don't know. I'm just throwing my hands up. Maybe your mom should play too. Maybe if your mom, maybe if we got our moms involved, we could win them some money, and then we look like good sons. We're helping old Ma out. We're helping these women win $500. Who knows? Because we do all this shit, and our teams are we do all this work, and our teams are garbage.
I was just looking here, and I as like in that league, the running backs on waivers it's all garbage. Most of all the good running backs are taken up. So I mean, it's all a lot of these running backs are going to vary in a lot of different leagues too. And I mean, wide receivers, there might be guys out there that might be able to pick up. I mean, like Dobbs, Dortch, Donovan People-Jones, he's even out there. I mean, Noah Brown. I mean, he's even out there. Zay Jones, there's Gage is out there. So honestly, it's just going to be vary in a lot of these different leagues. There's going to be people like, how's that guy on the waivers? So a lot of these people that don't pay attention are the ones, missing out. The guys that actually do pay attention are the ones picking up these guys that are actually on waivers. So I mean, that's like, if I would have known that Joku was actually on on waivers before Sunday, I would have picked him up. I mean, I got Hawkinson and I got Irv from the Vikings. So I'm like, Joku is way better freaking tight end than both of those guys right now.
That's what I'm saying. What the hell's wrong with these people?
Yeah. So I mean, these are all going to vary. I mean, we can look into the 16 man quick here and just kind of see what's out there available, because a lot of these things are going to be a lot of it's going to be different for every league.
I got one word. I got 2 words about 16 man. Slim Pickens.
Yep.
Not George Pickens. Slim Pickens.
I mean, right now it looks like the top. We got that. Matt Hollins, which I don't think he's worth an ad or a waiver claim. I mean, if once after, maybe I could see it. But yeah, Richie James for sure. He'll probably get he'll be seeing some good targets for sure. But maybe DJ Shark, maybe it's gonna be slim pickings now, because there's a lot of people out there that depends on how deep your bench is. A lot of these people are gonna be sitting on people's benches as well too. And and this is probably a good time to start trading for some guys too. I mean, there's not bad time to start kind of changing things up early in the season. I mean, I'm 0-3. I mean, I might have to try to do something differently. I mean, not in this league, but a different league. I'm actually 0-3, and so I might have to try to do something differently.
Like we were saying before, it's like, I don't fault people for making deals and doing what they got to do, because we're all here for the title. I mean, I'm not, you and I aren't here to place 4th, place 7th, place. I'd rather be 2-12 and at least go down, going out in flames, going down. So if you got to make it for that 0-3 team, if you got to start wheeling and dealing, if you got to start blowing up the team, I mean, I don't fault you one bit. I mean, 0-3, you fall to 0-4, Jamie, that's a death sentence. I mean, 0-3, you can still come back from. 0-4 is a death sentence, in my opinion.
Yeah, and especially in a 12-man league like that, I mean, here's my roster. I mean, I got Herbert, Mike Williams, I got London, I got Cooks, Edmonds, Hawkinson, and Pittman. I mean, these are all freaking guys that are in the top 10, so there should be no reason why I'm losing. I should at least had one win already. But, on my bench, I got Irv Smith, Darnell Mooney, I got Pollard, Pickens, I got Fields, and Tyler Algier on my bench. So maybe I might have
That's
to.
you got. I think Algier's got to go. I think you got. He's not. You're getting at crunch time right now where you can't wait on. I mean, 0-3, you can't wait on projections anymore.
Yeah.
And if it gets even worse, like if Pittsburgh's offense just looks anemic like it's been in a couple weeks, Pickens might have to go next. But
Yeah.
definitely Algier's got to go. I mean, just try to look at your team quick, but I don't know who's available. We could trade for, but I just know off the top of my head, Cordarrelle's is by far their number one option. Algier, if anything, would just be eventually be a number 2, and that's not saying a lot. Atlanta, they like going through the air with London. If Mariota's gonna be a quarterback, he's gonna rush it himself. Cordarrelle is gonna be doing his thing, catching passes, running. So I don't see a lot of the offense being around Algier. Maybe in a couple of years. Same thing with he's got to go.
I was just trying to see. I was actually trying to look to see, like, maybe I'm gonna have to drop Fields for Carson Wentz.
I would. I know you love Fields, Jamie, but that like 0-3, like that's starting to get a little
or maybe Brissett too. Maybe drop him for Brissett because Brissett's actually playing better too. So I mean, I guess I got a couple options. Fantasy point wise, I mean, Brissett is actually doing better than freaking, and they're at Atlanta too. So I mean, that's some good fantasy points right there.
Atlanta's got a bad defense. I mean, even pathetic Geno Smith looked decent against Atlanta. Jameis looked good against them. I forget who they played week 1, but Atlanta's defense isn't very good. So I mean, that might be honestly, Brissett might be a better play this week than
because with Herbert maybe being up in air, and they're at Houston too. So I mean, I can probably interchange. So these are things that people kind of get into a little bit. They're like, well, should I drop this guy? And actually, there was guys that's already dropped Mooney in a couple leagues. I mean, Mooney's been dropped. I mean, he's not doing it. I mean, I might wait one more week.
Yeah, you got. I think with him. I mean, you spent a high pick on him. You drafted Pickens. I think you give these guys another week or two, and then. But like I said, you might have to get rid of Mooney and Pickens, deal them or something. Yeah, you fall to. Right now you're 0-3, Jamie. But I mean 0-3 could turn into 2-3 real quick, and then you're right back in the mix. But you fall to 0-4, 0-5. And then it's just like then it's time to really blow up the team. Like, hey, this isn't working. Like, we're gonna.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have won, but Shepard wasn't seeing the targets. I just needed a few more targets for to Shepard to win my matchup. So I was hoping on Shepard to maybe be irrelevant to actually get somewhere, and that didn't happen. So
it's good. It's good while it lasted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I was actually all over him because he was actually finally healthy for once, and now he actually. I wasn't sure if
does. That's what he does.
So I think this is.
He seduces us. He seduces us.
Yeah, I think he might be done with his contract too. I think this might be one of his contract years, I think.
Mark my words, unless it's like in a veteran minimal signing, you won't see Sterling Shepard again. I can tell you that the Giants they're done with this stuff. I mean, you can't rely on this guy. And there's a lot of good receivers. I mean, he's a good receiver. He's not great. There's a lot of good receivers in the NFL. There's a lot of guys that could take his spot that'll be a lot cheaper. So what I'm saying, I don't, unless it's a practice squad thing or it's a, like low veteran contracts minimum somewhere, I don't think we'll see a lot of Sterling Shepard again. Because I think they're just done with him. And I'm saying that as a guy who gets pissed. He pisses me off. There's certain players you just can't trust. I have one of them on my bench right now, J.K. Dobbins, who I need to get rid of. There's just certain guys that are just injury prone, and I wouldn't touch CMC with a 10-foot pole. It's just a matter of time before he's fragile. Matter of time before Chuba Hubbard gets in there. Chubba Hubba.
So I was just looking at his contract here.
Montgomery with the Bears. I mean, if not injury, it's like he's being outplayed. There's certain guys that are all these experts are having you take highly in the draft that I don't trust. I just don't. And Shepard, there you go, you're getting burned again. But go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, even though he was I took him in a couple later rounds. So I mean, later rounds, I mean, not so big. Or I mean, I got him off the waivers. Even especially in deeper leagues, if you got him in some smaller, deeper leagues, I mean, that's fine. But I was just looking at his contract. He's contracted, 4 years, 41 million.
Yeah, he's not.
So
He's not.
his
I know the receiving market has changed, Jamie, but it's like, is Sterling Shepard really worth 10 million when you can get a young guy who's like 500,000?
yeah.
Somebody for 5%. You know what I mean? Like why would you keep Sterling Shepard around and stay healthy? Why would you be paying him 10 million?
Yeah. So next year, so in 2024, he's a free agent. So maybe
So they got another year of this. They have another year
So
of this
well,
contract.
they could probably, if they wanted to, they could probably get out of his contract next year.
I would. I don't trust him.
So I mean, it just honestly just varies. I mean, just never know. But I just wanted to look through his contract quick, and very possible. They could, cut him probably by next year. Maybe save themselves some money.
Wow, that's too.
Maybe go get themselves a good QB. Go get him a high end QB this year.
Get rid of this clown. Get rid of this clown you got now, because you ain't winning enough. I mean, we saw that last night. I mean, Dallas is kind of depleted and beat up, but we saw it last night. They don't even have a good QB. I mean, Danny Dimes he's garbage. He belongs holding the clipboard. I think he would look great as Joe Burrow's backup in Cincy, holding the clipboard. I think that's the perfect destination for Daniel Jones. But yeah, Giants definitely, Dable's kind of fixing the culture there. Next thing is go get a quarterback. Go get an actual guy that can play. Go draft the kid from that Stroud kid from Ohio State, or somebody like that. Maybe try to move up in the draft next year, because I think Giants will be hovering around 500 all year. So they'll probably be middle of the draft. So probably have to trade up if they're going to go get a quarterback. But
yeah, most definitely.
This guy's a clown. This guy's, I can't believe some of the fantasy guys are like, yeah, Danny Dimes, he combines the run with the, get out of here with that nonsense. Get out of here. Tua is like 10 times the player that Danny Dimes is. I'll go with him or Kyler or Lamar, these other, mobile guys that can get you rushing yards, some throwing yard, Jalen Hurts. There's a ton of these guys now. Danny Dimes, come out of here.
I think there's going to be a little bit of a change with a lot of these guys that were pocket passers, and there's going to be a lot of more of those, guys are going to be a lot of dual threat kind of guys coming in, so I think we're going to be getting away from a lot of those, guys standing in the pocket a lot with these older quarterbacks. So a lot of these younger ones, they're not going to be too wanting to stay in the pocket as much.
Would you? I mean, look what happened to Herbert. I mean, the guy, and now he's, that affects the whole, their whole team is built on Justin Herbert. Let's face it. The coach, that's Staley, he's a moron. He's a defensive guy to begin. I mean, they should have a McVay. I mean, coaching up Herbert, the guy would be putting up 6,000 yards if they got in a competent offensive coach. So they're screwing that up there. Eckler's good, but I mean, the whole team's relying on Herbert. He's hurt now because he was doing what they told him. Hey, stand in the pocket, stand in there tough, when a big 6'6", 230, 40-pound guy is getting his ribs messed up and getting, injuries, it's just for being a statue. It's like, I don't blame Lamar for getting out of I don't blame Kyler. I don't blame all these guys, Jalen. I don't blame all these guys for being mobile and getting away from that. You don't be taking these hits. These defensive tackles, these are giant men. These linebackers, safety coming in rushing, like, you don't want to be taking hits from these guys.
It was funny because I actually
I'd rather take a hit in motion. I'd rather take a hit in motion. I'm running 6 yards down, or I'm sliding, or I'm getting I'd rather take a hit like that in motion than just standing there and having a 280-pound guy just fall full force on me. You know what I mean? So
this was, I mentioned you that I was actually, I was watching a clip where it was the Chiefs Bills game, and one of the Chiefs guys was wrapping up Allen, and they kind of tossed him down to the ground, and he was going to come up walking to him, and one of their bigger offensive line guys just came up and just straight up just shoved him all the way. I was like, he actually went flying. I was like, holy shit, it was quite hilarious. You
Yeah,
know.
these offensive line, these guys could be in like strongman competitions. I mean, these guys are. I mean, they're throwing around 270, 290 pound like it's nothing.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
These are
I was
big,
like,
these are giant men, dude.
yeah, this guy was big too, and then he just went up and made this defensive end guy just fly. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my god, dude! But
you
it,
have
it
the
was
same.
it was insane.
You have the same expression you have in our little logo up there, where your face. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
uh, Chad, you're kind of quiet tonight. Are we boring you tonight, Chad? You
This,
sound
this
like
is what
yeah.
happens. This is what happens, guys. When we don't have, when we don't cross our T's and dot our I's. But hey,
But,
we're almost getting an hour out of this, so we're doing pretty good. Uh, do you
well,
want?
yeah,
Do
most
we
definitely.
even dare talk about kickers or defenses?
Um,
Maybe
kickers.
maybe fuck kickers, but what about defenses? Can we look at some of the defenses quick, and then we'll.
Yeah, and then we could probably wrap that up. Oh, sorry, I got distracted.
No, you're good,
God,
bro.
yeah, I mean, it's this god dang baseball stuff that's got me. Guerrero actually singles in the bottom of the ninth, so I'm like, yes.
Hey,
That's
hey,
gonna,
that adds another one of the tally. He's Jamie's. What are you up 11-2? So Jamie's in the
no,
championship round of his baseball league. Is it
yeah,
the California Penal League?
yep, yep.
Yeah. So
But
Jamie's in the championship there, and I think he's up 11-2 so far in the week. So
well,
one day, but
10-4, 10-4 now,
oh, 10-4.
10-4. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. You got this in the bag. We'll
Hopefully,
come on here. We'll come on here next Tuesday and celebrate. We'll have confetti. Gotta get you a little trophy made. One of
uh,
those little trophies they give to the little kids when they win the soccer tournaments. That's right.
oh boy.
So other than baseball, so we got some of the defenses that are available in some of the leagues. Um, I I don't know. The Giants have looked decent. I mean, Dallas kind of moved the ball on them a little bit. Tennessee, but
Yeah,
haven't given up a ton of points. So I mean, if you're looking to kind of keep points, probably especially against the Bears, probably keep points under 20. That'd probably be a
yeah.
good bet.
That Dallas and probably New York are probably the two defenses that probably.
You've seen Dallas available in some leagues,
Oh yeah,
really?
yep,
That's
yeah,
Dallas got a good defense. That surprises me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, even though they're 68% roster, I mean they're out. It's that they might be out there. So I mean, I got Dallas in some of my leagues. But yeah, most of the heavy hitters. I mean, if you're streaming, maybe Dallas is looking pretty good. The Giants probably another. I mean, Giants they're pretty good too. So I mean, it's Jacksonville, but
Not against Philly. No, Jalen
yeah, right
Hurts
now
tear them
Dallas,
up.
New York are pretty much probably the two. If you need a defense, those would be the two you probably want to chase.
Well, this might surprise you, but I was kind of looking at some defense. If you're really in a pinch, Kansas City. I mean,
Oh
we've
yeah,
honestly we've done nothing on offense. I mean, we put up 19 against Dallas, but that's pedestrian. Couldn't move the ball on Green Bay. Put up 12 points. New Orleans 20. So we haven't scored above 20 points all year. We have players we have a lot of injuries right now, and I think Mike Evans should be back. But if you want, if you're in a real pinch, if you're in a real deep 16-man league, and your defense is just you're just a really bad matchup this week, Kansas City might not be the worst thing in the world. And the way Brady's looked, and it might just be a lack of options and just not having timing down. But Brady hasn't looked like Brady. Brady hasn't looked very good. So. So that might be my sleep. If we have sleeper defenses, if there's such a thing, it would be Kansas City.
I'm trying to find what the hell here. Here we go. I was actually trying to see what percentage the Chiefs. There we go.
They're probably somewhere between somewhere around 40% roster. Do you think?
Yep, they're about 44% rostered.
Okay.
So they might be out there in some of your leagues. I mean, yep. Actually, most of the 12 and 16 teams, they're out there.
If you're looking to get creative with it, I mean that's not a bad option. trying to think of other, kind of. I mean, the Jets. Obviously, I don't think Pittsburgh's defense wouldn't be available. Maybe in 10-man, maybe, but Pittsburgh's defense is too good to be. So they're playing the Jets. I'm just trying to think of good match. Like bad offenses. And right now, the Bucs have a bad offense right now. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, but yeah, those would be the ones. Maybe Arizona's not looking too hot either. So maybe Carolina against Arizona.
I got Kyler in 2 of my leagues, man. I need that to change.
It's possible.
Not be too far off on that.
Yeah, those are kind of the ones I kind of seen anyways. But yeah, Dallas and the Giants were probably something to look at, but Dallas for sure, because our defense is playing. We sacked Danny Dimes, I think 9 times, 8 or 9 times last night.
Like I said, the guy can't read. Guy can't read a defense to save his life. Pick my ass.
Yeah, that's for sure. Was there any guys that you've seen that were kind of highlighted for week 3 that you liked at all?
Well, there was a couple monster performances that I saw that I was like, I kind of saw that coming. I saw Lawrence coming. Like I did. I saw Trevor Lawrence. I saw that performance coming. I didn't think that in Robinson too. But I saw Lawrence. The Chargers were. Like I said, Herbert was banged up. He ended up playing, but he didn't look like himself. And I thought it'd be a shootout. I thought it'd be, high scoring. I just didn't know the Chargers, would only put up 10 points. So, but I saw her. Yeah, Lawrence stud put out. So did Robinson. Robinson had 100-yard game. The other one I noticed was, I traded him, but Jalen Hurts. You can't say enough about the guy. Over 300 yards again, 3 touchdowns. Didn't have a lot of rushing, but he didn't need to. He had monster game. I saw it. I thought Wentz would do more in that game, but he didn't. So, but in terms of guys that like shit the bed, obviously Russ ain't doing a damn thing, and I think Hackett can't hack it so far.
Yeah,
coach, and then I don't know how to. I think that I think I'm going to say Josh McDaniels. Usually it's players. We talk about fantasy guys. Josh McDaniels, the Raiders. This guy. I know they've lost a couple close games. It hasn't been a train wreck, but he had the same. I mean, this guy's not a head coach. Okay, there's a reason why he was a coordinator all these years, and what happened with Denver back in the day. Like he got fired after 2 years. The guy's not a head coach. And Belichick's being exposed for being an average coach. And that might sound blasphemous, but he is. He's being exposed without Tom Brady. Some of his, I don't know. I was like, what is this garbage? Okay, so you got to be more. You have Devontae. Come on, you have Devontae. I know Renfro was hurt, but you have Devontae Adams. I mean,
most definitely.
He should be putting up 120 every week. I mean, who could cover Devontae really?
Yeah. And I have to agree with you too. I mean,
but that's their fault. That's their fault for sticking with Josh Jacobs. He's a clown.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they drafted a guy in a draft this year, and they're not letting him do anything. So, of
course not.
Is what it is.
Doesn't know what to do with him.
What do you think? What about Trevor Lawrence? I mean, I know he's right now he's about 58% rostered in most Yahoo leagues. I'm not sure
if Govier catches this show in our 16-man. I think Govier's got him. I would trade. I don't know about Murray right now because I gave up a lot to get Murray, but Lawrence right now. If you need an upgraded quarterback or you're in a different kind of format, or definitely on DraftKings because I think he's still a bargain there. I go with Lawrence just about every week now. I mean, he's got that point, dude. I mean, Doug Peterson's got him dialed in, starting to get some healthy weapons. I mean, like we were talking about, I've been talking up James Robinson. He looks like he did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk looks like he might be a Pro Bowl level receiver, hitting him all over the place.
So these are guys. So some of these guys are actually, these are kind of not really buy low, but sell kind of guys. If it, guys you can buy right now,
You're,
possibly. It's I guess okay.
you're
I
in a
guess
keeper league. If you're in a keeper league, Jamie, if you're in a keeper or dynasty, whatever, if you're in some kind of league where you keep players year after year, and if you have any way to get Trevor Lawrence, I do it now while he's still. You can trade for him, or you already have him.
yeah,
I keep him, or I trade for him. I do something because he gets a tight. If they get him a tight end, because that's the one thing Jacksonville's got to. They need to upgrade a tight end for sure.
yeah.
They get him a tight end and they get him a second receiver, and this will be one of the best offenses. I mean, this offense will be lethal with this guy. So
Gotcha.
now is the time to Lawrence. I'm sold. Yep. Whatever's happened the last couple just throw it aside. This guy, I'm sold.
I mean, right now, I mean, he's putting up, his fantasy points, 15, 22, 30. And I mean, he's on average, he's been, about over 200 yards, per game. His last one was about 262, but he's throwing some touchdowns. The first one was one, second, now, two, and now his third one was he tossed 3 touchdowns.
People forget Josh Allen. I mean, the universal best quarterback in the league now. Remember, Josh Allen started slow too. He was garbage probably his first year and a half in the league. So, I mean, people that wrote off Lawrence early, or hey, he's with a bad organization. These guys are idiots.
Yeah,
you can't just write a guy off. I'm writing Daniel Jones off because I've seen 4 years of garbage. Mac Jones, I'm writing Mac Jones off right now because of who's his coach. I mean, Bill Belichick doesn't know offense, and the guy he has, Matt Patricia doesn't know offense either, the coordinator. So it's like he has no chance to succeed. There's certain guys I'll write off, but never wrote off Trevor Lawrence. Never.
Yeah, it was kind of bad that they had a bad year last year, and I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna have a better year this year with a better coach that knows what he's doing and what he wants to get done.
Super Bowl. Guy won a Super Bowl basically with Nick Foles. The guy won, and then Eagles ran him out. But I mean, shit happens. But
yeah,
Andy Reid got fired. We know how great Andy Reid is. Andy Reid got fired, so it's like shit happens. and now Pearson's got him. He's got this offense dialed in. Urban Meyer was a fucking moron. I don't think he needs to go back to the collegiate level. That's what he was good at. I mean, he totally just screwed this Jacksonville franchise up for a little over half a year. So, they're back on track now. All their studs all the things are coming into place. They just need to up. And they got that stud. They got the other Josh Allen. They got him on defense. He's a stud. They got a few guys on that side of the ball. I mean,
they got a decent guy in the draft too. I think it was first overall pick from the.
Yeah, I forget what the pass rushing kid. It wasn't Hutchinson. It wasn't Hutchinson. It was the Oregon. I think it was Oregon kid. The hell's his name? I know you're talking about, but they're putting the pieces together. I 2023, mark it down. Jacksonville will make a deep playoff run next year. Next year they're going to make a deep playoff run, Jimmy.
That wouldn't surprise me. Let me see here. Oh, it's Trayvon Walker. That's who
Trayvon
it is.
Walker.
Yep. I actually got him starred in one of my IDP league. I kind of got him starred just to see if he, just to kind of help me remember in case he maybe does something.
Yeah, no, it wasn't he was from Georgia, wasn't he? Trayvon Walker. He's a Georgia. I was thinking of the Oregon kid that was the pass rusher that went. He must have went somewhere else. I know Hutchinson went to the Lions, but
yeah,
I'm trying to remember that. But
no, I think Hutchinson was Hutchinson was
He went to the Lions at 2.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I wonder if he was he the Oregon guy?
No, it was what the hell was it? The hell am I thinking of? No. Yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau. He went to the Giants. The Thibodeau, the Oregon pass rusher.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. No, Jackson. Yeah, they took Trayvon Walker. Yeah, number 1.
Gotcha.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that kind of wraps up most. Well, I think that kind of wraps up most of our stuff. I guess. I guess before we get up out of here, who would you? So if you want Trevor Lawrence, who would you? What kind of guys would you have to give? Like, what kind of? I guess who was in the same box as Trevor Lawrence to kind of trade for him? What kind of person would you have to, I guess? So, okay, let me put it this way.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
It's well, obviously if you're trying to get Trevor Lawrence, you're trying to upgrade like with anything else, like you're trying to get better at some position. So uh,
yeah.
obviously I'm not going to trade Justin Herbert
Oh
for
God, no,
yeah,
no.
no. I think with a guy like
What? What about? No, not. I really wouldn't.
okay, Matt Stafford. So if
Yeah,
I had
there you
Matt
go.
Stafford, that's a perfect example because I think Lawrence long term and maybe even now Lawrence is better. He's better, uh, in the long run. So if I Matt Stafford, I'm going to package Matt Stafford and maybe Matt Stafford and somebody like Tyler Boyd. You know what I mean? Maybe a package like that, or some
Or
or Chris Olave. I'm trying to think of like I don't want to give up too terrible because I mean Stafford he's still a good quarterback.
yeah.
I don't want to give up a lot of value here, but
Or how about Kyler Murray? I mean, Kyler Murray
right,
for
Kyler.
for
Yeah, no, I would do absolutely. I would do absolutely. Let's see. I might even do that straight up. I mean, that might just be a straight up deal. Lawrence for Kyler.
yeah. I'm
Uh,
just trying to think of guys that might be possible. I know.
Yeah, because people are a
Cut-
little low on Kyler right now. You could probably get, but I'm saying to get Lawrence because Lawrence's stock is rising, so you're trying to get him before he gets overpriced. He's too high. So
Yeah,
I think Matt Stafford and another player, another like maybe flex level starter, maybe even like Singletary from the.
yeah. I guess it depends on your roster. I mean, it depends on
I'm
who
trying
what
to
you need. I don't.
you
I
don't want to
think.
get ripped off. I mean, you don't want to get ripped off, but you don't want to lowball the other guy either. So it's like,
Yeah,
what do you? I can't give like Saquon and Matt Stafford for Lawrence. That's just too much. But I
I
don't know.
think that'd be.
Maybe Hollywood Brown. There we go. So I get maybe Hollywood Brown and Stafford for Lawrence. Maybe
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, possibly. Something in those lines. I mean, I think you could probably trade. I mean, if the other guy wants something a little bit more, maybe if there's a guy you don't like, you can maybe do that. But yeah, I was just trying to think. Maybe Kirk Cousins possibly because he's kind of hit and miss a little bit too. I mean, he can be good and then he can be bad too at the same time. So I mean, it's
So who would you package? Kirk? Yeah, Kirk's somebody you could. Kirk and who else would you package to go get Lawrence? Because Cousins isn't Stafford, so you'd have to give a little more.
yeah. I
Shit.
mean, I mean,
Bullshit.
I guess so. Say, well, let me look at my team. So, say if I had Kirk
What,
Cousins,
what about Cousins and Cortland Sutton for
or or maybe if I didn't like Mooney, I can be like I can get off, maybe Mooney. He's kind of the number one guy with the Bears, so maybe, but that trade might get denied. But it's maybe worth a shot. But I mean, he's just a low end, number one that maybe could fulfill, something down the road at least once the
yeah
Bears do something.
yeah we should start. I mean, we start doing that more like trade scenarios, like kind of look into maybe do more of that instead of the because like I said with the NFL matchups, I think a lot of these guys they already know. I mean, they watch ESPN, CBS, so a lot of stuff
Well,
we've
you
been
just
doing. Some of the
yeah,
stuff we've been doing in previous shows, like, but I think if we do like a lot of segments like this, I think it like get kind of hit a nerve because a lot of these guys are in these scenarios. They're like, okay, I need to upgrade my team. It's getting to be week 3, week 4, and so on. The trading. There's no. I'm not sure if there's a trading deadline or if that's week 8 or whatever, but
yeah, a lot of those are
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
a lot of those are set by the commissioner, the weeks, how where they're at. So I mean, all of this varies in the different weeks. Some of them might be I think most of them are in November, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of
So
right around Thanksgiving or somewhere. It might be before or after. So somewhere right around in there, I'm sure,
week
more than likely.
9-ish or so, week
Yeah.
8, week 9. Yeah. So guys now's the time. I think we could do different trade scenarios. We kind of look at some different players, and I think this would be a good segment. Because it's helping if guys are in a pinch they can't make a call on it. like, hey, this deal, we can think of that deal ahead. You know, we can be like, okay, well, we've considered this based on these factors, based on where these guys are going to go. So I mean, that'd be something we could look into. I like this. I like talking about different trades because it's something we think about. I know other guys are thinking about, and it's getting that time of the year where you're trying to set yourself up to win make the playoffs, and you're trying to set yourself up to win a title. So whatever
it is.
Especially if your team is like right now, we have some 1 and 2 teams. We have some teams that we're not fully satisfied with. So we're in that boat too. Like we're trying to, we need to upgrade pieces too. So we're right there with who's ever listening. So
yeah, I think Chad's just a ghost. He's just like, yep, I'm just gonna turn this on.
He's ghosting our, instead of ghosting your league, he's ghosting our show.
No, I think he's just trying to get content out of us, see how good we are. It's like, these guys didn't do shit today. Yeah, no, Chad.
Well, Chad, we got a minute 16 out of nothing. Turn chicken shit into chicken salad.
And I need to go get some food too. So
yeah, bro.
But I think that kind of wraps up.
Belly.
Yeah, I think that kind of wraps up everything. I'm gonna go I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. Go get some group food to eat, and then I had to get my butt to work here pretty shortly too.
Go make that cheddar. Go make that bread, boy.
Yeah, but I think that kind of covers everything. So
if they like our shit, hey, come back Friday. If you like our Tuesday shit, come back. We're together. We'll be sitting side by side Fridays, and we do our league stuff. So if you want to, that's when we really get animated and into stuff. So if you like this shit, you'll like that too. And we talk about both of our twin turbo leagues, and it's a lot of fun. So man, go get some grub and let's sign off here.
Yep. Yeah, I keep on forgetting. I'm like, well, if you guys like our stuff,
and then do the social media shit. Yeah, it's like and subscribe, all that crap. Like, subscribe.
You got to be more genuine than that. Be like, just go like our stuff. Yep. Okay. See you guys later. Got to be more. It's like, hey guys, we appreciate your time. We appreciate all the views. So I mean, we're both comical guys, but if you like comedy, a little comedy in there, hey, that's what we do. Hit that like button, subscribe. Turn on those notifications, when we go live. It's usually always every Tuesdays and Fridays, but that's all the time we have for.
We vary on the time. It depends when we have supper, when we wake up, when we if we gotta help Jamie's mom, if we gotta if I get stuck in traffic, like it just depends on various factors. We try to shoot for 6:37, but we usually do so.
But all right, well, this is Out of Rhythm. I'm your host, Jamie, co-host Eli. We are up out of here. So, peace.